Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Hello and welcome to the Popternative podcast. This is the podcast where we have digital discussions in the worlds of social media, sports, and pop culture. We did this last year with the Moncton Wildcats, but we have some really cool, unique panels where we have teams, members of teams come over and take over the show, and we're joined by 4 members of the Cumberland Grads in the CCHL. So I'm quickly going to introduce the panel. First, we have forward Jared Leslie. Jared, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
We have forward Keenan Reynolds. Keenan, welcome to the show.
Cheers.
Forward Roman Cannell. Roman, welcome to Popternative.
Hey.
And captain of the Cumberland Grads, defenseman Zachary Salloum. Zach, welcome to the show.
Hey, Petey.
So, opening remarks right now. Jared, you're a 20-year-old playing in the CCHL right now. Just talk a little bit about your experience in junior hockey and what the next steps might be for Jared Leslie.
So I originally came into the league 2 years ago. It's my 3rd year in the league. It's been an amazing experience so far. People always say junior hockey is the best kind of years of your hockey career, and I can attest to that through my experience so far in the league. My first year, I kind of ran into a serious injury. I shattered my kidney, so I was out for 4.5 months. Fortunately, I recovered, and everything's good now, but that kind of just put a little damper on how my career went. But besides that, like I said, I've had a blast. These past 3 years have been the best years of my hockey experience so far. And just next year, looking forward to either moving on to a school in the States to play hockey or to play some CIS hockey in Canada. So right now, I just have a couple of options and just trying to figure out where the best fit for me is going to be.
Great. Well, we wish you best of luck with whatever happens next year with you. And we're also joined by Keenan Reynolds. Keenan Reynolds started the year off in the OHL and has experience in the OHL playing for Flint and Owen Sound. And you're currently sidelined with an injury, Keenan. But how's the rehabilitation process going? And when you're back on the ice, what are the goals for Keenan Reynolds in 2017?
It's been tough. Obviously, no one wants to get injured, especially not in the way I did after being released, coming in, hoping to get a new start in Junior A and not having it go the way I wanted. But you know what? At this moment, I'm just taking it one day at a time, and I hope to be back soon. But if not, I'm going to come back next year ready to prove a point. And, that's all I really can say. But at the same time, I'm just glad that the Grads are doing so well without me. Doesn't look like they miss me that much because they're winning games. So I hope I can come back and help them make a playoff push and help them win some games. Cool.
No, that's really good. And Roman Cannell is playing his first year in the CCHL Junior Tier 1. And what's interesting about Roman is you played in the Midget AAA U18 League last year, had pretty fantastic numbers over there, top 5 in scoring. Talk a little bit about the transition it's been from playing Midget AAA to playing Junior this year with the Grads.
It's definitely a big change at the start, getting used to the size, speed of the guys. It's a lot different coming from a team where you're the guy, and then you come to a team where there's guys that are older and they've been the guy on their teams, and now they're the guy on this team that go to for scoring and stuff like that. So not that you need to change your role, but you just need to come in with an open attitude and know that you just got to do whatever you need to do to make the team better. And if that means that you need to start hitting more or start grinding it out more, you got to maybe change your game to do whatever's best for the team. So in that sense, it's a pretty big difference. But, if you just play your game, everything kind of works out.
And last but not least, of course, Captain Zachary Salloum is with us, and pretty exciting news for Zach Salloum is he actually committed to RIT University before the New Year. So first off, congrats on that. But just talk a little bit about what that does, to your confidence going into the final home stretch with the Grads, pushing a playoff spot. Just talk a little bit about that experience, Zach.
Yeah, it was really exciting just before the holidays, like you said. So there's a lot of weight off my shoulders. Now I can just really focus on what's good and important for the team. Like you said, we're pushing for the playoffs, so really all we got to do now, all I'm looking forward to is making the playoffs and go as far as I can. I've been to the playoff once before, and it wasn't the stretch that we wanted, so hopefully this year we can make a deeper run and try to bring it home.
Really good, really good. And now, some questions, to start the paddle off. First off, just kind of a little bit of an icebreaker. We'll start with you, Les. But what has been kind of the moment throughout your junior hockey career that's stuck out to you the most in terms of something that you'll cherish forever? Because there's a lot of moments in a hockey player's, career, whether it's being drafted, your first game, your first goal. Anything specific, Jared, sticks out to you?
No, last year. Obviously, as I said before, my whole experience playing junior has been great. Even through my injury, I still had one of my best years in terms of fun and experience with the guys. But last year I was traded to a couple of teams. I started in Gloucester, then was traded to Ottawa, and then finally to Cumberland. And once I finally got back to Cumberland, I ended up playing Gloucester for the first time. And I ended up scoring a hat trick in that game. It was my first junior hat trick. It was kind of a bittersweet moment, against the old teammates, but it was kind of nice to get that little bit of revenge on them too for being traded and then scoring a hat trick and helping my new team win. So.
And Keenan, what about you? What's been something that has stuck out of your career? Maybe playing your first game in the OHL or anything specific?
I've had a very tumultuous junior hockey career to this point.
What a word!
That's OHL education right there. But just to further my point, I think one of the coolest experiences was scoring my first goal in the OHL. In Kitchener, it was 9,000 people screaming, so that was a fun one. And then I guarantee when I score my first CCHL goal, whenever that may be, if it happens, I hope that get the nice 150, 200 people in Navan on their feet cheering my name. So I'm really excited for that to happen as well.
And Roman, what about you? Anything stick out for you? You had a really, really big year last year in the mid AAA league. You guys went to the finals. Unfortunately, couldn't go all the way with the title. But you at a young age, you have had the privilege to be part of some really big moments, right, Roman?
Yeah, for sure. And even throughout minor hockey, I would say there were a lot of big moments, but nothing as big as getting through the first part of this year in junior. It was tough, making that acclimatization, getting used to this league, and then it took me a few games, but when I got my first goal in junior, that was a pretty big moment for me because I was okay, I got that out of the way now. Things can get rolling.
That's great. And just gonna. And Zach, what about you? You mentioned how special it was to commit for RIT, but you came in the league very young in the CCHL, so you've also been involved with a lot of cool moments early on in your career. Talk a little bit about what sticks out for you there. Some of your key clutch moments in junior.
Yeah, like you said, I've been in the league for a while, and it wasn't until last year that I played my first playoff game, so that was probably one of the coolest moments for me after not making the playoffs my first 2 years last year. Being able to make the playoffs with the Grads, especially, they didn't make it for 6 years, so that was pretty cool. But like you said, probably when I got the scholarship with RIT, that was probably the best moment in my hockey career. Being able to celebrate that with my family and friends was really special.
Awesome. Now it's time to have a little bit of fun, and I know I want Keenan to start this off. Keenan, there's a lot of misconceptions, and a lot of people assume that they know what the life of a hockey player, the life of an athlete is. They know they wake up, they train, they go to the gym. But I'm sure there's a lot of misconceptions and a lot of things and assumptions that people make about hockey players, especially at the junior level, that are completely not true. What on the top of your head is something that's the biggest misconception that people say about hockey players, that they don't really have a life outside of just being at the rink? What do you think about all that?
I think the most important thing is everyone assumes that we take a lot of time with our hair. I got to be honest, Petey, this hair is It's like out of the shower, it's just perfect already. It's not like I style it to make it look good for warm-ups to show it off. I just get out of the shower and it looks amazing. So the one misconception is that hockey players care a lot about their hair, because I don't think we do. I think you'd have to go to Roman Cannell.
Yeah, I was about to go to a very, very, very big smile Roman Cannell over here,
But
who's excited to talk about his hair.
Honestly, I'm gonna have to agree with Keenan. I use the Grads hand soap pumper in the shower, and that's about it. My hair and does the job, you know.
it's not Head and Shoulders, let me tell you. Petey, you need to get this together here.
Okay, I'm sorry, but I did not expect you to say that with such a straight face, Keenan. You know, misconception is our hair. Our hair is.
Hey,
Leslie, what about you? What maybe something besides hair, but maybe like the routine or kind of balancing. Because you know I had Martin Firk on the show last week. He's playing with Grand Rapids in the AHL right now, and he says it's just the regular life. You wake up, you go to the gym. It's like a work day in a lot of sense. You know what I mean?
For sure it is. And I mean, one rule we have with our team is that everybody has to be taking some kind of classes or have a job. So it's not just always all about hockey.
Sorry, no, Keenan just smiled out of nowhere. Oh, man. Keenan Reynolds on Popternative. What was I thinking? No,
What? I'm not doing anything.
It's all good. Continue, Les.
I mean, Roman can speak for it. He's still in high school. Me, obviously, being out of high school now, I took part-time classes through the University of Western online. So obviously that takes up a bunch of time as well, because managing 2 university classes plus hockey, plus trying to have a social life. I mean, Zach can speak too. He works every morning. So a lot of guys on our team, they do a mix of things. But I think at the end of the day, it's just kind of not only trying to deal with the pressure of performing in hockey, because we obviously all want to get to the next level, but it's also the pressure of dealing with real life, such as school or jobs, as well as trying to keep our social lives in there as well.
Yeah, and Zach, I think you could speak to what Jared just said. I mean, like a lot of people like just assume that the hockey is just the main thing that's the focus, but there's lives outside of hockey as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And for us, after hockey, we're all looking to go to school. So if we're just taking all these years off, it's going to be hard to just jump right back into school after going full time. So you got to prepare yourself while you're still playing hockey. I have a job. I take some part-time classes just to keep myself busy, keep the mind going. Because after hockey, there's always a life after that.
Oh, absolutely. All right, now Keenan's going to be very happy with this. Keenan, I'm giving you 5 minutes now. You're the host of Popternative. It's a bad idea, but we're doing it anyway. You can ask us some questions now, Keenan, because I know you like this stuff. You like the media stuff. You do color commentary with me.
When do I start? That's my only question.
You can go right now. Now, keep in mind what we talked about. Let's keep it as PG as we can. But you got 2 questions for the panel. Go for it.
Well, thank you for joining me on Popternative. I really appreciate that, guys. My first question is, what are some superstitions you have on game day? Petey, I mean, you're the announcer, but I don't know, do you have the same type of Odie bites every morning? What's the secret behind the magic that is a Grads game day?
So I'll answer that first, yeah. Well,
Cheers.
I think the one thing, I have a routine definitely that a lot of people don't realize, that I'm up very late the next night making sure I know all the numbers and all of the names of the other team, because I want to make sure that when I announce, I want to make sure that both teams are, obviously it's a home Grads game, but I want to make sure I have, enough things to say about the other team, some stats where they played last year. Because at this point right now, I know your numbers and your names by heart, because I see the Grads. I do about 30 Grads home games. So it's more about the away team. So I'll spend like 30 minutes to an hour the night before just on the away team. So that's like a routine that I have. I also wear, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I have a pair of pants that I really like, that are very comfortable, They're very cozy. I wear the same pants.
They
when
make
I do
your
Grads
quads.
games.
Yeah, they make your quads pop. I
Because
feel
we know
that.
the Navin Memorial Arena is it's a chilly one.
Yep.
So you gotta keep warm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go to Roman Cannell next. Roman, any superstitions?
Honestly, I might be one of the least superstitious guys I know. I'll wake up, make a meal, maybe eggs, maybe it could be anything, like anything good on game day. Get to the rink. I don't really have any superstitions, like not one that I could think of. Maybe subconsciously I'm doing things that I don't even know, but thinking about it, I couldn't tell you one.
So the short answer to that question could have been no. Okay. Let's go to Jared Leslie. Any pregame rituals here?
Yeah, I think I kind of have a few big ones. Obviously, pre-game meal, I always try to stick it chicken, rice, vegetables. Obviously that changes with road games and stuff in certain situations. So it's not a huge superstition. But more on stuff that I really do is once I get to the rink, a lot of the stuff I put on first goes left then right.
I've heard that before. I don't think you're the only player that's kind of common, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
I've heard it before too, definitely. It's not something I really think about. It's more of a habit now, just doing it because every day when we're getting dressed, it's always the same way. So it's definitely more of just an unconscious habit that I kind of make now. And besides that, I have a few other little things I'll say in my head before certain games, and I'll kind of do some mental reinforcement. But besides that, that's kind of the only two things.
Alrighty. And finally, Mr. Loom.
Yeah, me too. I have a couple of superstitions. During the game, I like in the intermissions, I like to be the last one off the ice, and when we're going on the ice, I like to be the last one going on. I don't know. It's just something I've always done. But during the day, before the game, the main thing for me is I like to stay hydrated, so I drink a ton of water throughout the entire day. It might make me go to the washroom a lot, but it's worth it. I just feel like I have an extra gear when I'm more hydrated to play.
Just for me, I'll answer last. I like drinking a lot of water too. Helps me feel loose. And one thing I always feel good is if I do well in sewer ball before the game, I feel like I can have a good game. Like I get my feet into it. I don't know. It's just a psychological thing. Okay. My second question. This one's a bit more loony, but just give me a would you rather scenario, and I'd like to hear your explanation on it.
Okay.
Petey's so scared right now. It's hilarious. Okay, so here is the scenario, and I need you guys to be 100% honest. Honesty is key. Would you rather save the lives of 10 people you don't know or get a real-life working lightsaber?
Who's going first?
That's not as easy a decision as you'd think, but let's go the same order. Let's go PD first.
Can you repeat the question one more time?
Yeah. Okay. So would you rather
Yes.
save 10 people, they'll never know you saved them, and you'll never know who they are,
Yeah.
or get a real-life working lightsaber from Star Wars?
Now, am I alive? Or do I have to sacrifice my?
No, you're still alive.
Oh, of course, the first one.
Okay.
I'll go with the first one. Star Wars isn't real, so.
Yeah, but I'm saying you would have a real-life lightsaber.
Yeah, I know. But
Wow. All right, Roman.
Honestly, a lightsaber would be cool, but you wanted an honest answer. I would save the 10 people.
I feel like everyone's gonna clean sweep it and you blew it.
This
This question is really bad. I don't think anybody's going to sacrifice 10 people for a lightsaber.
Keenan probably would. I think that's why he asked the question.
Jared, come on.
No, I'm
Be
not,
honest.
to be honest, I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. If Marty Frechette was on this panel, he might get a lightsaber because that guy lives and dies for Star Wars. But no, I have to go with the 10 people.
Yo, Keenan, clean sweep, man.
Needless to say, you ever need to borrow a lightsaber, you just come to my house. But yeah, that's just I like lightsabers, so I think I just take a lightsaber because I don't know, you can slice bread with it, and you can also like go on a rampage. Like you can do whatever you want. Petey, podcast is back to you. Keenan Reynolds segment is over.
But I'm gonna counter before we go back your question.
Okay.
Would you rather, Keenan? This
Yeah.
is just for Keenan. You guys can answer. But would you rather have a real life lightsaber
It's gonna be tough to beat. Let me tell you.
or give up playing hockey your whole life?
Lightsaber, 100%.
No, like you can't even play shinny. You can't even. You're not allowed to ever play hockey for the rest of your life.
Who needs?
If I catch you at the ODR, you're in trouble.
First of all, I'd just pick up another leisure activity. I'd start, I don't know, playing baseball with a lightsaber. Like I could do whatever I want.
But the ball will be disintegrated.
That's a home run in my books.
Oh my god.
But honestly though, like that's a tough question just because I don't know.
It's a tough question. That's why I asked it.
I can pass the lightsaber down like for generations. It'll be the only lightsaber in the world. It can be whatever color I want. I'd probably make it like purple, like Mace Windu. I just feel like I'm a purple lightsaber guy.
Yeah,
And yeah, see, right? It's regal, you know.
We've had
Royal.
You guys know the speed skater or gold medalist Charles Hamlet. He's been on my show three times. He's a huge Star Wars fan, man.
Ask him that question. See what he says.
Like he's huge Star Wars fan. But we're gonna wrap up soon. But I want to bring something up right now that I think we can have a very good debate about. It's a social media question, and we all know that hockey players love the Instagram. They love the gram, and the one thing I got a bone to pick with all of you, and not just grads hockey players, but I got a bone to pick with hockey players. It's not even a bone, but I don't know how many times it's happened where hockey players say, "Yo, Petey, you know, you have a lot of followers. I want a lot of followers. Like, what do I have to do?" And then I tell them what they have to do, and they're like, "No, I'm not going to do that." Well, I'm basically like, you know, the main thing about getting followers is being active and posting on a week-to-week basis. I'm not saying every day, but, you know, posting something twice a week, you know, you will see the difference. Keenan's all about the ratio. He wants to have not a lot of followers. He doesn't want to follow that many people. He wants a lot of followers. But Keenan, what is your rationale about, you know, you guys being greedy, wanting all these followers, and not want to put in the work and post things?
I don't think that's what the debate's about. I think the debate is about you're saying if you follow 10,000 people.
We're not talking about that.
Oh, we're not.
I just brought up the ratio because you brought that up because then it started another conversation.
Okay, so like because I don't like tweet or post on Instagram?
Well, no, it's because I've had conversations with a bunch of other people, and I think I've had this you haven't been like, yo, I want a lot of followers, but we've had this conversation before about how a lot of people want to have a lot of followers, but they don't want to tweet anything or they don't want to be active. They just want to be passive. And, you know, the one thing I've learned, if you post a lot, it will naturally, not even that much, you know. Some of you guys, like Roman, you're killing me, man. It's like one post a month if I'm lucky, or like one retweet. So it's just, it will happen. Like Roman, you will hit 1K if you post twice a week, like right there, just naturally. So I'm just saying, some people care about it, some people don't. But I just thought it'd be interesting to get your, you know, whole social media perspective around the panel. We'll start with Keenan.
I think Keenan's the wrong person to ask. Because if you go look at his social media accounts, like his Instagram, he has some questionable pictures. Like I think his most recent one's him just standing in a movie theater. So I think his viewpoint may be a little different on this than.
I haven't looked at his Instagram enough, but maybe I'm gonna do that right now during the podcast.
But
good pick.
I think to answer your question,
maybe show us some
a lot of hockey guys.
Some of his pictures.
I mean, especially at our level, I think a lot of guys. I think it's different once you get up to like the professional level when you have a lot of followers. But I think definitely at our level, some guys are kind of iffy about posting because they know they're going to get backlash from their friends and kind of get chirped from the guys on the team for what they post. And I mean, again, Keenan can probably attest to that happening. So I think a lot of guys are just kind of, yeah, there it is, just standing in the movie theater.
That is sexiness personified in a picture, I believe.
But I think I'm gonna go with Keenan a little bit. Like I'm looking at his feed. Like it's not that like.
It's not that bad.
Control.
Let
Like,
me tell you.
It's pretty good.
Very good.
It's pretty questionable.
Yeah, but read some of the captions. That's where it really comes down to, too.
Oh, you didn't say that. You just said the photos. You didn't say the captions.
Yeah,
That's a whole different game.
Yeah, but
It's the aroma.
Yeah, the caption makes a photo.
Legs for days.
With a
Worst
Z.
guy.
With a Z.
You're the worst.
Spice it up a little bit.
Oh man. Okay, Loom, what do you think about social? But you've told me that you're not a big social guy, so that's fine. But like, I'm just curious to say what your opinion is.
Well, followers, all that stuff, I really don't care. I just like going on Twitter to catch some news, to see what's happening in usually the hockey world. It's kind of the way I find out things. And Instagram, I just like to see what people are posting, make fun of some guys. Keenan's a great example.
Sal just like
really,
scrolling through, finding girls.
Yeah,
And
pretty much.
Roman, what about you, man? Because you've been the subject of a PD Beats hype tweet with a lot of my big hockey accounts. I think it was me, you, Coughlin, and Barbin. There were some tweets that were just generic hockey tweets, and they got like thousands of likes and retweets. You were super stoked about that.
It's yeah, it was good, but it's I don't really tweet much, right? Like
Yeah.
That was good.
but what was it? Listen, I don't really tweet much, so like when I do, if it's a tweet like that and it gets a lot of stuff, then like that'd be different for me, right?
If it gets a lot of stuff.
It gets a lot of retweets and likes.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying, but Leslie,
yeah, I don't know. I don't really like. Kind of the same as Lou.
Yeah, Leslie, you're not even on Twitter.
No, so I when Twitter first came out, I was kind of late to the game to get it, and then once that kind of happened, I just realized, and I was like, I really don't want another social media account to have to deal with, so I kind of just stuck to like Facebook, Snapchat, and Instagram. But yeah, no, I mean, I get what you're saying. I try to post like a decent amount. I think Instagram's kind of where my thing's at. But I mean, there's some guys on our team too who post a lot, and sometimes I feel like they post stuff that's maybe too personal or a little bit too out there. But
Sorry, I had something in my throat. That was weird.
No, I mean, again, it's just with social media. I mean, everybody's kind of different. They have their own opinions on what they should post, what they shouldn't post, how much they post. But again, I think it's just one of those things you kind of got to be careful with and kind of find your niche into what you like to do with it.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're gonna wrap up, but we're gonna do a quick speed round right now.
You never asked me.
Yeah, you started it.
You cut me off and went to Loom.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
You took too long.
Yeah. Okay, Keenan, do you want to say something about this?
No, I was just hurt.
Sorry, I didn't realize I cut you off. And the question was for you.
I know.
That's the worst part. Okay. No, seriously though, like, what are your 2 cents about the whole thing?
Me?
Yeah. Well, yes.
Okay, so Twitter, I find, I feel like if someone were to perceive me as funny, it wouldn't be like things that I think up and tweet. It'd be like, I don't know, just making jokes in person, like a one-liners type thing. So I don't think that my comedy would translate to Twitter. And I think that if I was to just tweet all the time, I'd be that guy like posting pictures of like, or just tweeting like, oh, I just got on the bus, and like no one would care. So basically what I use Twitter for is to just like look at vines of funny things and like watch cool sports videos and like cats doing backflips and stuff. And then Instagram is more of the way for me to connect with people, maybe that live in the same city, that live away. And in this day and age, like if you have a good social media persona, as you know, can help a lot with getting jobs, getting to where you want to be. And yeah, so there you go.
Yeah. All right, so before we wrap up, I have 3 quick, would you rather questions. Like I'm gonna say, would you rather like this or this, and then you kind of give me your answer. But it's got to be quick. Like I'm gonna count 10 seconds in my head, and if you can't think of an answer, I'm going to the next person. So right away, we'll start off with Jared. Instagram or Snapchat?
Snapchat.
Keenan.
Instagram, baby.
Roman.
Guys, I'm like lagging out here, but between Instagram and Snapchat, Snapchat.
Loom. He lost his audio.
He said Instagram.
But he said Instagram. Awesome. But I was gonna have a couple others, but
Keep him coming.
yeah. Okay. Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Coke.
He said Coke. You can see that.
Loom said Coke. Alrighty.
I say Coke.
Oh, clean sweep. And finally, rap, rock, or country?
Country.
I'm gonna say a nice medley of the 3.
You can't. You're disqualified. Get out of here.
That's unfortunate.
Okay. Who said country?
I did.
Okay.
I don't know. I'd say rap. Yeah.
Yeah, Lou said rap.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, this has been Popternative. I just want to thank, Jared, Keenan, Roman, and Zach for coming on the show. This has been a lot of fun. You can catch previous episodes of Popternative on iTunes, SoundCloud, YouTube, and our Facebook page as well. And be sure to follow all the grads on their social media pages, because on the Facebook, on the video descriptions, I'm gonna have all their handles, so you can check out and see Keenan's Instagram captions, because I know everyone wants to check that out now. So
Let's hope RAT is better Wi-Fi for Salloum, because that's just an atrocious display right now.
Well, with that, we'll sign off here. This has been PD Beats Popternative. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.